What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded Lost Souls. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode, we set up an Empower thing here so we can automate our recipes on the Empower through implied energistics, which is awesome. So the way this was set up is it will applied energistics will send everything over for one recipe. The items that go on the outside display stands go there. The item that goes to the Empower in the center goes there. It does the craft, it extracts the item, waits for that item to go back into the system, and then sends another recipe over here. So none of the recipes get messed up, everything goes in order, and it waits for the first one to complete before the next one happens again. That way you can queue up, 10, 20, 1,000 if you have all the resources, and then it'll just do them in order. So yeah, it's really nice. So now that we have this done, that allowed us to make the Draconic core, right? The Draconic core is an Empower recipe only for some reason. And this is going to be used for a lot of different Draconic evolution things going forward, like the mob grinder. We can also make a sword of the Wyvern out of that if we had some of these other parts and some stars and stuff. This might be a good idea for us to work towards. Maybe we'll do that a little bit later today. What else can we do with this thing? We can make the energy infuser. This is like a really fast way to charge up things that can accept RF. We can make ourselves particle generators, and I'm looking to see, yeah, we made the fusion crafting injectors last time. That's why we even started down this path, so we could start doing fusion crafting. We can get into wireless energy through Draconic evolution, which is pretty cool. We explored this a little bit in Project Ozone Light. It's a really nice way to transfer energy around. I like it. We might look at it a little bit here, but since we have flux networks, there's not a lot of point. Wyvern energy cores is another item that's used in a lot of crafts, so we'll be looking at that. Crystal binders for the wireless energy stuff. Upgrade keys. These are for upgrading your different tools and armor through Draconic evolution. And what else is here? Generator. Yeah, I don't think we'll be using that, but a lot of good stuff here. Looks like it's also using some extreme crafting recipes. So yeah, it looks like we will awaken cores, chaotic cores. We'll be looking at this a little bit later. And then this is showing all the different fusion crafting that's used in as well in order to upgrade different items and so on and so forth. So it looks like we can take a chest and turn it into a draconium chest. That's not super expensive. Okay, so just kind of curious what else we have here. It looks like an emerald turns into a wyvern core with some other pieces. Interesting. Okay, so yes, we're going to be hooking up the basic fusion crafting injectors to the fusion crafting core, and we're going to be trying to get this thing automated. Now, like I talked about last episode, how we automated the Empower is going to be very, very similar to how we automate this thing. Now, I believe we need 8 of these placed in the world here, and in fact, I think we have to place them up against blocks, otherwise they face the wrong direction. So I will probably place something like cobblestone is what I should do. So let's select that item here. I kind of want a little bit of room between the injectors on the wall here. So like 3 blocks of space, 3 blocks of space. I think we'll do like this. And I think we had to place down 8 of these in order to upgrade to the next level. So I'm only going to place that many here. Maybe, was it 9 of them? I don't remember. Anyway, so we'll do something like that. And then we will place the fusion crafting core. Actually, I might want to move this over a little bit. I'll get this all situated the way I want it. But the fusion crafting core needs to be placed so there's lasers below it or lasers above it. The lasers, these crafting injectors, I guess, will only do like a 3x3 surrounding the crafting core. So you kind of have to place them in a specific spot. I think that's going to be fine just like that. Maybe I will place these up against the wall a little closer. I don't know. We'll figure it all out. But to get us started, that's kind of the basic design here. Now, we need to pipe items into each one of these guys. And these specific things, unlike the display stands over here, each one can only hold one type of item at a time, but it can hold a full stack. So this is another reason why we want to make sure only one item goes to each injector, and we want to make sure each injector gets an item. So we definitely want to make sure that we're sending stacks of 1 and we're doing round robin. So 1 item goes to each one of these guys, because sometimes the recipes have like 4 golden apples, or something like that. And they all go to one injector, or if one of them gets 2 of those, then the recipe's invalid and things don't work. Anyway, so now that we got this all set up, we need to provide these with power, and probably what we're going to end up doing, so I don't have to change the power later. That's the wrong thing. We're going to look at doing the cryo-stabilized. Yeah. Oh, these are empty. I'm going to have to fill these up with cryothium. So we'll take these, we'll fill those up, and we'll use this for infinite power to send to all of these crafting injectors. And then we'll also use a flux point, which should be able to transmit as much power as it can receive into those, the cryo-stabilized, to provide power to all of these things. Okay, well, let me do a little bit more here. I'm probably going to rearrange this a little bit. I'm not happy with the way this looks. I'll do a little bit more here, try and get things going, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm setting up a pattern now so we can craft Wyvern cores. We're going to need these Wyvern cores in order for us to upgrade. Well, I guess it's probably a bad way to look at this. Let's do fusion crafting. In order to upgrade the basic fusion crafting into the Wyvern, the next tier, we need a Wyvern core, right? Plus 2 Draconic cores, some nether stars, and a draconian block. So we have to make this Wyvern core before we can even think about this recipe. So the Wyvern core is made with 5 Draconic cores, is a lot, 2 draconian blocks, and 2 nether stars, plus a block of emerald. All this stuff plus 9 million RF will convert this emerald block into the Wyvern core. Okay, so to set this pattern and apply it in logistics, since we don't have a Wyvern core to set, that's what it's going to be. I'm just going to use a nether star crux, just so we can say, hey, make a nether star crux and things will happen, even though that's not a valid recipe. But anyway, you can see here we have 5 draconic cores, 2 nether stars, 2 draconian blocks, and that emerald block, plus a slime ball. Again, this slime ball, I don't know if I mentioned that last episode when we were setting up this auto crafting. It doesn't have to be a slime ball. I've just always used slime balls just because they don't have a lot of uses. So we generally have those in our applied energistic system. You could do cobblestone or pretty much anything you wanted, better questing book if you have those in your system. Just something that you have a lot of, you're never going to run out of, and that's never used in one of these crafting recipes is what this item needs to be. And this just prevents more than one recipe from entering your buffer chest, right? Okay, so anyway, so let's go ahead and encode this pattern here. So we have all of this stuff that's going to make a nether star crux. Not really, but that's what we're going to tell the system anyway. So now we can bring this all the way over here. You can see I did set these into the wall. They have the particles around them similar to this. We're using the phantom faces, right? I haven't tested this yet, so I'm not sure if this is going to work. I did set this up in a slightly different way than this one. I think this one might look a little bit nicer. The redstone just looks like garbage. I know. Anyway, so I'm not going to explain the redstones exactly the same way as that one over there. We're just detecting when an item gets extracted out of this, which sends redstone signals, removes the slime ball, and then allows the next recipe to enter. Again, the important thing is we have to click the blocking mode and put the recipe in here. Now, again, this is untested. I tried to copy as well as I could everything that's over there, and I can already tell right now I've made a mistake. This right here is not getting a redstone signal. Oh boy. How does that get a redstone signal? Let's take a look. So that would be this one right here. That gets a redstone signal directly off this repeater. So why don't I have that hooked up over here? I don't know. I think I had it hooked up, and then I changed something, and then it's no longer hooked up. So here's a problem I can already see. If I bring this redstone wire over here to connect to this, we're going to be emitting a redstone signal to these hoppers here, which are going to lock them and make things wrong. So I guess what I could do to fix that is just grab some like vanilla repeaters or something. I guess we just need a vanilla repeater. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just grab a repeater. I think I had one. Yeah, I have an extra repeater and the advanced ones. So we'll just do the regular vanilla repeater right there. And then I guess I need one piece of redstone dust. So hopefully that'll take care of the issue. Yeah, again, untested. So I think we should be able to tell to make the nether star crux. Oh, no. There's one more thing we have to do. This right here, we have to blacklist block of emerald. from ever heading over to these guys, because we want to whitelist the block of emerald only ever going here. And then again, also we have to blacklist the slime balls from ever leaving this chest into these things. So I think with all of that set up, I hope that we have this thing correct. So let's also make another star crux. Oh, you know what else would help? If we hook this up to applied energistics. And just like that, we have connection once again. So the applied energistics cable looks a little weird right now. You might notice. I'm not sure what that texture is. I had to reload my texture pack earlier, installed a new video card driver and didn't relaunch the pack. And then I had to reload the textures doing the F3T thing. So we had sounds again. And anyway, we'll just assume that's what the applied energistics cable should look like. But now that we have that hooked up, another star crux, let's tell it to make that. So you can see there's a lot of stuff that's going to go into making one of these things. It has to queue up for these Draconic cores, and then it's got to take all of that stuff to turn into the Wyvern, and then we'll make the Nether Star Crux, which is actually be the Wyvern. So let's queue it up, tell it to go. There is nothing in that chest, which has me concerned. Let's take a look upstairs. There's nothing up here, and there's nothing down here, so why did I not tell it to go? It says that it is making stuff. Oh, right. My mistake. It's doing the cores over here. I was thinking for some reason that those would be made over here, but no. It's going to make the cores over here first, and then it can take the items and put it over into the other one, right? Okay, well, we gotta wait for, I guess, 3 more of these to be made, or 2 more, I'm not entirely sure. So let's cut until this thing starts working. Okay, well, the Empower just finished up. Recipe is going over into our Wyvern stuff, and that looks like everything went to the right spot. Yeah, we have 5 of those, 2 of these, and 2 Nether Stars. Everything's here. Now, the only thing is, I did forget that we need to apply a redstone signal to our fusion crafting core. So we can do that in a couple different ways. I could just put a redstone timer here that just keeps clicking this thing. We could do it remotely so it's completely hidden, which we might end up doing. I don't know. Do we have a timer block? Timer. We have this. What do we have as far as like redstone? Do we have like the hidden redstone things? I don't even remember what that's called. I know that, oh, it's this thing right here. Basic redstone interface. Can we make that stabilized ender pearl? You know what? I like this thing. We've made these before in other series, and I will make that again. So that's from the random things mod. So we also need this redstone tool as well, I believe, is what we need to link these things. So we're also going to need a timer. So let's grab a timer here. Timer. Okay, to make the timer, we need the clock. And then we make this. Awesome. Okay, so now we can take this guy down here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to need to put it. It's not like super important where it is. It just has to be somewhere around this area. So I guess we'll just place that here. We'll put the timer next to it. And this is set by default to every 5 seconds or whatever 100 milliseconds is. 100 game ticks, I'm sorry. Let's just change it to 20 so it's once every second. Okay, so we need to take the redstone tool, shift right click on this, and then we have to shift right click on this. You see they link up. So this thing is getting a redstone signal every second from our timer down there wirelessly. And then you can see there's a red line. If I get rid of the tool, that red line goes away. And this thing will just constantly be emitting a redstone signal, trying to do what it needs to do here. So it looks like things are crafting up. The only problem is we gotta wait for this to happen. If we had an acceleration one, we could speed this process up right here, but I don't think there's any way for us to speed this up at the moment. There might be a way with maybe astral sorcery or something, but that's a whole nother ball of wax. But I am curious to see if we got ourselves a Wyvern core in the system. This is gonna say it's still crafted because we don't have the Nether Star Crux. Wyvern core. Okay, so it entered the system. Very good. So now we can cancel this. Come down here, grab our pattern once again, and then we will set it to be the correct recipe, which is, of course, the Wyvern core instead of the Nether Star Crux. Okay, so back over here, we place this guy like a so, and that one right there, and now we have the correct recipe. So I think I can put that over in there if I just find the chest. Is it not called a chest that it's attached to? Impulse item duct, maybe. That's the correct one right here. So this is set up the same way. So yeah, it's got to be like that. I don't know why it's connected to an impulse item duct, though. It should just be only touching a chest. Let's come over here and take a look real quick. Oh no, I guess there is an impulse item duct that's taking items and pushing it into here. So if I take this and I right click it on the back with a wrench, it'll face this chest only, and then I'll say chest. And that's probably what we should do. I don't know. But anyway, now that we got ourselves the Wyvern cores, let's go back to Fusion Crafting. Okay, so we have Wyvern core. So now we can set up a recipe for this to turn a basic Fusion crafting injector into the Wyvern version. Yep. Okay, well, that's going to be our next step. So let's go make a pattern for that. Now, everything should already be in our terminal here. That's pretty much the same. So we need the Wyvern core instead of these guys. So Wyvern core. We need 2 Draconic cores. Well, let's tell the system to make 2 of those, and we'll just wait on that so we can fill out our recipe. We need a Draconium block. So right click on that guy. And then we need 4 stars, 4 Nether stars. Okay, so now that we have all of that, we also need the basic Fusion crafting injector, and that should make something, right? I guess we could tell the system that it will make, oh, I don't know. How about an ender pouch? Just as long as we have some recipe in there is all that really matters. So there's our Draconic core. So we needed 2 of those, right? Okay. So now we need to set the recipe for the basic Fusion crafting injector. We want to whitelist. Where is that? Right here? Okay. So let's go back over to our setup. Make sure everything is working. Setting up the auto crafting for this is a little complex. I will admit this. But it is possible. So you don't have to sit there and do everything manually, which is nice. But yes, it is a little complex. So that and that. So we're whitelisting the basic Fusion over here, and we're blacklisting the basic Fusion this way. The recipe should be set. That's doing 2 Draconic cores, 4 Nether stars, 1 basic Fusion, and a Draconium block. So that's telling the system that we're going to be making an ender pouch, which obviously we aren't once again. So let's put all of this stuff back in the system. Okay, I guess we can put that stuff away too, and that, and we don't really need the phantom phase. Okay, so ender pouch, we tell it to craft. Next, we can verify that's all the correct recipes. And if we click start, we should see everything enter over here like it should. Okay, so we are missing something. What are we missing? One more time, let's take a look. So we needed 4 stars. We have 4 stars. We needed 2 Draconium, 1 Wyvern core. Oh, where's the Wyvern core in this recipe? Ah, did I forget to add that to the recipe? I think I overwrote it, didn't I? Okay, well, I will fix that. All right, well, once again, we can try and make ourselves a ender pouch. Hopefully this works this time. We do have the Wyvern core, the Draconic cores, and everything else. So if we click up start, we should see everything just happen. Looks like everything is going good. That one's taking a little bit of time to charge up. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we can now start the recipe. It automatically starts crafting because of the redstone signal. The correct items go to the correct spot. Only 1 item per one of these crafting injectors. So yes, we are pretty much good to go. Now we're just gonna have to change that recipe so it knows that it is not making the ender pouch. It is in fact making the upgraded version of the crafting injectors. Now, one more thing I don't think I mentioned here. On the item ducts that are going into these phantom faces, or I guess that'd be going into these guys back here, the crafting injectors. I did put a filter on each one, and I set it to 1 here on the max total items in inventory, just to be doubly sure that only 1 item could ever enter one of these phantom faces, right? Same thing on this side. So just in case there is some mess up later on, something along those lines, only 1 item's ever going to enter into these things. So that's just another measure to make sure that nothing will screw up, and we'll always get just 1 item into each one of these injectors, provided we have enough injectors. Okay, so now we can kill the recipe for this. We can grab the Wyvern thing. We'll go change our recipe over here real quick. Fortunately, we still have to go all the way over here. So let's do item duct. Okay, so we'll grab this guy. We'll place that here. We'll change this. We'll do that. Cool. So now we should be able to put this back in there. So the only thing we need to do going forward is do the old swapperoo here. So I can remove this guy, replace it with this guy. They work just the same. These will do the lesser recipes and the ones of its level. So now that we've done that, I can place this back in the system and say make another Wyvern fusion crafting injector, which is going to use a lot of resources here because it's still got to make a bunch of the Draconic cores. Okay, so now the recipe is invalidated because previously the one that I used for this recipe was one that I've never placed in the world and broken. When you place in the world and break it, it has a NBT data tag that says like contents saved, I think. Fusion crafting. Yeah, it says contents saved. So now we got to change the recipe 1 more time to use this version of the crafting injector. I forgot about that. Okay, so we'll do that. Place that guy back here. We'll clear that. Place this. Although that one did say content saved as well, so I don't know. Maybe there is some other difference here that I don't know about. So we'll place that back here. Now if I tell it to the Wyvern, does it say it can? Well, it says that it can now. Okay, if we start it up, that's just going to use a tremendous amount of resources, though, and it's going to take a bit of time because it's got to do these things like 5 times over here whenever it gets all of those items crafted up. Yep, so it's going to be a minute before this is done. We are going to need more nether stars. It might be about time that we look at either getting a faster nether star farm going or creating more wither bosses. We do have the nether star seeds and the nether star crux, so we could potentially get that going with a watering can. Anyway, we'll have to figure that out. But anyway, let's wait for this to finish up, make sure that everything happens automatically, and we'll be back, guys. Alright guys, well this seems to be working rather well. I did have to change the filters for the item ducts down below, but yeah, I've already crafted a second one here, and then we're on the process of crafting a third one, and I think that's gonna pretty much end our supply of nether stars for right now. But I thought it was kind of interesting that it makes 5 of these over here, puts the items over here to make the Wyvern core, starts crafting that, and continues to make more of the Draconic cores for the final recipe. So yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting to me watching like all this auto crafting happening, 2 separate machines, 2 separate places, both kind of doing the same style of stuff, but yeah, differently. I guess we have to wait for 1 more of those Draconic cores to be finished over there. I thought I was gonna start this one up right now. But anyway, yeah, like I said, we're running low on the nether star, so we'll probably have to look at getting ourselves a nether star farm set up next time. We're definitely going to need a lot of those going forward in this mod pack. And like I said, we already have the nether star seeds and the nether star crux, so we should be able to start some kind of a farm anyway, but I just don't think they work with the garden cloches, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll have to do something about that. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that something is going to be. Man, that is taking a lot of power, isn't it? Oh my goodness. There it goes. Finally. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this one up. It's going to take a few more minutes for this to be completed here. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap the episode up here for today, guys. We got a lot of good stuff going, lots of automations. Both of these are kind of a complex thing, yet they're similar once you know and understand how this kind of stuff works for automating these machines. But anyway, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.